episode 2 of Selection Night with Shepp and Thommo. We're all about promoting your local sports club and sports people. As you know, we're looking for Shepp and Thommo's Club Legend of the Year. So the winner will get a nice little prize pack from our show sponsor, Rebel Sport, plus recognition and honour and the prestige of the award. It's quite an illustrious award to be recognised as a club legend, and especially by this show. Thanks everyone for tuning in to last week's episode. We had over 100 downloads, which is absolutely amazing. So can't thank you enough for that. That's really blown us away. Thanks as always to our station sponsor, Viva Teamwear, which really is the most comfortable sportswear going around. Thanks as always to our producer, Darren Tangles Andrews, the chief button pusher and social media whiz. If you're listening in live and want to participate in the show, please go through our Facebook page or the Messenger account attached to that, and you can ask us a question, correct us when we're wrong, keep us on track, and help us improve the show. And if you like the show, let your mates know about the show. We're here to talk about local sport, giving you a platform to build your club, bringing the weekend to the fore. So we've got a really big show tonight, discussing last week's predictions, this week's developments. We've got some new show segments and weekend sport in general. It's now time to welcome my partner in crime, Thommo. Welcome, great man.
Thanks, Shepp. I don't know about great man, but anyway, I'll take it if you're going to give it to me.
That's it.
For sure. We have a big show. Unfortunately, we're going to miss our special guest, Joey. He'll come on a bit later, which is good.
Yeah, Joey Shitey. He unfortunately got called back at work today.
Yeah,
He had a bit of a disaster at work and couldn't make it into studio live.
No, that's fine. We've got lots of things to cover, so all good.
But so he was. So basically, Joey's the goalkeeper for Modbury Vista State League 2 team, but he did his knee in round 1. But we'll hopefully catch up with Joey next week, and yes, we'll go from there. So we've got State League 2 and under 18 and women's football,
Okay.
and amateur Aussie Rules. We've got some Hills footy. So Thommo is a Hills football man. He will be able to give us a really good down on that.
All good.
And some regional footy.
Yeah, the River Murray Football League. Now, they've got a big weekend coming up this weekend. They've got their Interleague happening. And, so it's all full on there in the codes versus the codes rather than the teams, yeah. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
No worries. We've got a poll going as well. So that's a massive discussion point in district cricket, and being the off season, there's been most of the talk about town has been around about the Hussey report, who's wanting to do what with
correct
clubs,
with
and what's the right thing to do, what is
mate,
that's the question.
It's a $64 million question, that one. Look, some people think that growing the amount of teams in the competition would be better. Some people think shrinking the amount of teams would be better. And it's just a personal opinion, really. It's about people getting out there and playing the best cricket that they can and getting guys good enough to play on the redback side, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it's all about at that level.
I've got a unique opinion on that as well.
Excellent.
And yes, when we come up to it, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think that the turf cricket competition can more line up and make things a bit easier.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. And we're debuting a new segment tonight as well. It basically means how is the better half on board, or what are we doing to keep the better half on board so that frees up our weekend sport.
Yes, we are. We'll touch on that a bit later. It's that'll be a fun segment, I'm sure.
Yes. So we're changing things around a little bit tonight. We're going to head off with the soccer. Yep, we're going to the soccer review and predictions for this week. So the last weekend, the the Senior State League 2 competition. There was a full weekend of sport there, a lot of interesting results and a lot of good matchups there too. There wasn't a lot of movement on the table, but this weekend we've got Gawler and Salisbury facing off, and that's 6th versus 2nd. Should be a victory there to Salisbury, and they've been playing some good football, especially
For
considering where they were last year. They were down the foot of the table last year. They've made some good signings.
That's
and
brilliant.
Yeah, and they've got their new facility this year as well. So last year they were using Modbury Vista's pitch for their home games.
Yep.
Because their pitch was being redeveloped.
Okay.
Now they're back at their new or refurbished home.
Yeah.
And getting some really good results. Modbury are hosting Seaford, which is 10th versus 9th. So that's 2 evenly matched teams, and I think both teams there are going to want to, they're both going to expect to get a result there. So
Yeah, for sure.
with 2 teams that are evenly matched looking for a result, it should be an exciting game.
Yeah.
So definitely get down and watch that one. Vipers versus Pontian. So that's the Eagles, 8th versus 4th. So Pontian, by the looks in the ladder, should get the job done there.
We all know the ladder never ever tells the story sometimes. I'll get into that a bit later when we do some footy stuff too.
Absolutely.
There was some interesting stuff happening last week.
And so my predictions normally are reasonably mathematical.
Yeah, correct.
And the Aussie Rules, the AFL tips, I won the Aussie Rules tips twice, last year and the year before.
Oh, wow.
Purely mathematical. Right?
Good work.
With a few little dodgy calls that came off, but effectively it was mathematical.
Yeah.
This year...
So who would you pick tonight out of Port and Geelong then, mate?
Well, that's... And now I've just gone, oh my God, I haven't done my tips.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
we'll have to get into it in a minute.
I will, yes. So what I might do is, as I'm talking, I might put my tips in.
Good stuff, Shepp. Good stuff.
And then we'll have a look at the odds too. They tell a story.
Yeah, they usually do tell a story.
They do.
I leant towards Port just because it's home, but who knows? Geelong have got a lot coming back in this week.
61% of the pundits are saying that Port Adelaide are going to win.
Yeah, correct.
Which
I know we don't usually talk about AFL, but seeing I brought it up, sorry, Mick.
That's okay. Well, you've inspired me to do my tips. So,
hey, I'm glad I reminded you, mate.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss out if you're up the top, mate.
Well, not this year. I'm in middle table this year.
Oh, wow. It's been tough this year. It's been really hard, yeah.
And the maths doesn't work this year.
Does not.
98% of the pundits are going for the Swans. I go over Hawthorn, and I'm a Swanee, so,
You have to go the Swans.
going
Hawthorn have
Swans.
been pretty average.
Fremantle, 79%.
Yeah.
And St Kilda, 73%. And
over the Crows, I reckon the Saints will get it.
Last week. I was lucky enough to be at the game.
Oh, I know. I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that
I was in the toity section too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They would have been real happy.
Well, they weren't.
No.
But you wouldn't be able to tell, right? So my brother-in-law, shout out to Daniel Kuznetsov, he and his son go to the football every week, and they're on the first row.
All right.
Now, they love it. They're shouting, yelling, screaming, fully supporting the Crows and love it, right? Now, because of the COVID, they were brought up.
Yeah,
so they
correct.
said, you can sit wherever.
Yeah.
Right? And he saw these seats in the Bradman stand, in the red seats.
Beautiful.
Halfway along.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm like, and he goes, would you like to come along? I'm like, yes, I will come along. Thank you very much.
For sure. It's a good fun thing to get involved in, for sure.
That's it. Well, I didn't know where the seats were.
Right.
I'm just going along to watch the game.
Yeah.
But then we're in the hoity-toities, and it was Saturday night. There were blokes in suits.
Oh, wow.
Going to the footy.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? Where are we? And I think there was a couple of other guys behind us who were from rows 1 and 2 as well. And they're shouting, my brother-in-law shouting, my little 10-year-old nephew shouting.
Yeah.
And all the regulars in the area are looking at us going, who are these guys? What are they doing? Right.
A bit of noise.
They had to, careful with their Chardonnay because they pivoted, right? And they're like, what's going on here? The guy behind us,
mate.
it was
Good
unreal.
fun.
But the guy behind us at quarter time said, I can't handle this. And he left
Oh, wow.
because there was nobody else shouting. It was like the opera,
Yeah.
you know? It was
The golf clap.
It was a golf clap. It was
Oh, no,
absolutely
no
amazing.
good at all.
But
Got to have some fun at the footy.
yes, the Crows. I wouldn't mind betting against St Kilda because surely
Yeah.
the Crows have got to play better this week than last week.
Yeah. The Giants is the next one.
Giants. Yeah, I'm going the Giants. That's 96%.
Yep.
Richmond, 71%.
No, I see. I went the Dockers because I
Did
reckon
you?
they'll get the job done over there. They'll shut them down. That's
The
what I
West
reckon,
Coast,
but I'm probably wrong.
the Eagles. Okay, and Melbourne, 93% against Collingwood.
You got to pick them.
And I tell you, if Collingwood played okay last week.
Oh, it's West Coast versus Richmond, isn't
West
it? Not
Coast.
Fremantle.
Yeah.
Who are Fremantle playing this week?
Yep, 79%.
Oh, yeah, they're over
against
the Suns. That's right.
Yeah.
I knew there was one Perth seed
Yeah.
at home. And I did go West Coast as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Richmond are up and down, I reckon, this year.
Yep. But, Collingwood got a win and lost their coach.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Strange.
That was strange. There's more of a story in there, I think, but
Yeah.
I don't know all the ins and outs of that one, so
Nobody does.
I don't think
apart
we should
from
touch
them.
that.
No, I'm going to let that go through to the keeper.
I think
reckon.
Bucks was doing a pretty good job myself. I'm
Yeah.
a bit of a Bucks supporter,
Yep.
and always hard.
Yeah.
Always hard, but
Yeah.
but
You know his heart is black and white.
Yeah, that's it.
You know.
Yeah.
That's it. But getting back
to the
task
soccer.
at hand. Yes.
Sorry,
that's-
and Mick, you've done your tips, so well done, mate.
Well, thanks. No, thank you for reminding me.
All good, buddy. All good.
So the answer to your question was Geelong, I think.
Did you
Or was
pick
it
Geelong?
Port?
No, you picked
No,
Port.
I did.
No,
I
you
did.
picked
I picked
Port.
Port, yes,
you
yes.
did pick Port, mate.
I guess we'll
Yeah,
find out how
go
that
with the
goes.
numbers.
That's it.
Go with the numbers.
The numbers says Port, so I go with Port. Now, back to football, which is the round ball game. Uni versus Cove, which is another middle of the table clash, which is 5th versus 7th. And I just think that Uni are probably a little bit below where they should be.
Yep.
They've made some really good signings. They've got a really good team. Their coach is, he's an NPL coach. I think that Uni will get the job done. Northern Demons versus Noarlunga. Noarlunga will get the points there. That'll probably be 4 or 5 goals to 1, maybe. And then Mount Barker versus Port Adelaide. And that will more than likely be a rout to Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide are killing it at the moment. That is the seniors in the State League 2.
Yep.
The State League 2 reserves. The table have Noarlunga on top, and they're playing Northern Demons again, so the teams are playing the same. They match each other.
Okay. Yep.
And they will get the job done over Northern Demons. Gawler and Salisbury, that's a middle of the table clash. A little bit harder to pick that one, but it should be a good match.
Yeah, for sure.
And the same with Modbury Vista and the Seaford Rangers, 4th versus 2nd, and that will be
should
a
be
good
a
game.
beauty game. Yeah.
Yeah, the Modbury boys have been playing well, and as have the Seaford Rangers. Vipers versus Pontian Eagles, that'll be another reasonable clash. 2 teams that are near the foot of the table, but they'll look to get a victory. They'll be looking at each other there, thinking they can get the points, so that'll be a good game. Uni and Cove, 5th versus 3rd.
That'll be a cracker as well.
Uni will be looking to get some points there too.
Okay.
And the other teams, Port Adelaide and Mount Barker. Port Adelaide reserves at 9th, whereas their first team are 1st.
Wow.
Bit of a strange situation there. Bit of a gap between their
Interesting.
first team and the reserves. And the under-18s in the State League, we've got Gawler and Salisbury, similar spots on the table there, although Salisbury a little bit lower, so Gawler will probably get the job done there.
Yeah.
And again, I think if you go into any State League 2 day, it looks like Modbury Vista and Seaford. The under-18s is 4th versus 3rd.
Wow,
And
they're all pretty
that'll
good.
be close game
All
as
good
well.
games, yeah.
Yeah. But the match of the round, like completely, definitely is Uni versus Cove, 1st versus 2nd.
Oh.
You don't get top of the table clashes all that often.
Correct.
And that will be a cracking game. But as for the whole day concerned, get down to Modbury Vista and watch the 3 games there. That'll be entertaining.
For sure. Sounds great.
And moving into the women's NPL, we've got Salisbury Inter on top, and I tell you what, the football FSA have put on a big night for the women's football, the women's NPL. They've got a Friday night double header at Velo Stadium. So under lights on the Friday night, we've got Salisbury Inter versus Metro, and that's 1st versus 4th. So that'll be on at 6:15, and then right after that is the Football SA Girls versus West Adelaide, which is 3rd versus 2nd. So it's a prelude to what the semi-finals could look like.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is during the the normal competition.
Yeah.
So double header on Friday night down at Velo Stadium under lights. It should be a cracking couple of games.
Yeah.
And the reserves girls are swapped around. So the first game is Football SA versus West Adelaide, followed then by the Salisbury Inter girls versus Metro. So that frees up both first teams to have players as well. So
nice.
yeah, so that'll be a good night there if you can get down to Friday night football at Velo Stadium. And the other games on the Saturday in the NPL are Fulham versus Uni and Comets versus Adelaide City, where Fulham they're both evenly matched games. They're 8th versus 7th and 5th versus 6th. So they should be competitive. And
So all the top half of the table are playing each other, and all the bottom half of the table are playing each other. It makes for good games all around.
Absolutely. And on the Sunday, the reserves are playing, which same again. Both clubs are evenly matched, 5th versus 4th and 8th versus 7th.
Wow.
So get along to those games. And in the State League Women's, on the Saturday, White City are playing West Torrens Bacala, 8th versus 2nd. So West Torrens should really get the points there. And the Flinders on the Sunday, Flinders Flames versus Cove, 4th versus 7th. So Flinders Flames, after coming off a loss from Modbury last week, will look to come back there. Adelaide Jaguars versus Modbury Jets, 5th versus 6th. So another couple of even games. Both clubs there will look to get the points. And Modbury Vista versus South Adelaide in the match of the round, 1st versus 3rd. So a pretty good clash there. So it'll be a good test for the Modbury girls, who have been playing really, really good football. So and that rounds off the football wrap. And
Excellent.
yeah, so it looks like a good weekend of football coming up. And yes, okay, so now we coming into the new segment, and this is an interesting one here. So the boys and the girls, we play weekend sport to get away from life,
Bit of an escape.
It is a huge escape.
That's it, mate.
And,
That's it.
We work hard during the week, and to get that leave pass, a few guys that have come to the club and they've said, "Oh, can't play anymore. I can't play next year. I'm getting married," and we all look at them like, "You what? But you can still play."
Yeah.
No, the missus is she's not all over. She wants us to walk along the beach and hold hands. And stuff like that,
and
right?
probably do some renos on the house, or
maybe
thinking about having some kids.
Yeah.
All of those big life choices.
Yep. And then you've got to paint inside the house and
that's right.
Build things.
Yeah.
There's a few of us that have managed to keep our better halves happy, to allow
There are a few.
to allow things to flow evenly. And so I guess if we had a few people ringing in to give us some stories about what you've done to keep the better half happy, so that frees you up to play weekend sport. I know that on my instance, I do the dishes every night. So
Good boy, Mick.
my good lady wife, she cooks up a storm, as you know. Comes
Yeah.
time to settle down dishes. You got to make sure that everything's tip top in the kitchen.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
it. We all try and do the right thing
Yeah.
on occasions to keep the better halves happy and to keep us when we can go out the door and we're not going out in matter of screaming match and and where are you going? No, you're not going today. And no one wants that. That's not fun at all.
No, and
not fun at all.
And you got to keep the grovelling to a minimum. Oh, it looks like we've got a
caller
we've got a call
on the line.
Yes.
Popping into this segment.
Hello, welcome to Selection Night. Who have we got there? Oh.
Thank you so much.
All right. No worries. So who have we got here? Where are you from? And
let's just call me Chris.
Chris?
Sorry?
Well, we've got Chris on the line. And
yes.
So you've heard the new segment coming up, which is the things that we do to keep our better halves happy. So does that put you in the better half category, or?
I'm always in the better half category, but I don't know if it's to make the other half happy as much as it's to make me happy.
Yeah, I think I know that voice from somewhere.
Very familiar voice.
Yeah, very familiar voice.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sure we don't know each other.
No. Thanks for ringing in. You're supporting the show, I see, listening live. And
yes, listening live. Yep.
I will introduce the caller. It's my wife, Kristen. We didn't know she was going to ring in, but it's a good surprise. So
that's what I'm good for.
So we've got a pretty good story, I think, you and me, and we can probably elaborate on this a bit.
I think what we could probably mark off here is Thommo is the master of this particular segment. If there ever was a master, it is Thommo. He's got his good lady wife completely on board with his weekend activities.
Yeah, which is cricket umpiring, as me and Mick touched on last week. And
I'm not sure if you should give him all the credit, though, Mick.
Very good. I agree. So, Kristen, tell us what's your involvement through the South Australian Cricket Umpires and Scorers Association?
Well, apart from not being a cricket umpire or scorer and not knowing anything about the laws of cricket, I would say, what am I not involved with them? I'm the historian officially, but I do a lot of social media and create lots of videos and try and be a little bit 21st century and bring them along with me.
Yeah, we're a bit of an old boys club, aren't we?
It's changing. It's really good. It needs to change, and it's changing, which is fabulous.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
And I'll tell you what, you've managed to bring your passion to the association, and you're absolutely killing it, Chris. So.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, there's some awesome humans involved in the organisation. Including your better half, Mick,
yes,
I would say, who I met through all of this too.
And that's, the bottom line is, and when we're talking about promoting local sport, it's all about bringing people together.
Correct.
Yes.
All about community.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All about community.
Yeah, we find new friends.
And
Thommo and I would never.
There's so many opportunities.
Yeah, correct. This show would not be happening tonight if me and Mick both didn't umpire cricket together. So
that's right.
Yeah,
I know you're never going to bump into each other down the local shops, are you? Because you don't live nearby.
No,
but
correct.
You guys, you've been friends for ages now, and look, it's just awesome, really. But it's also a way to stay happy if your other half overindulges in sport, I would suggest.
Definitely.
Well, that's it. Well, I tell you, some of the work that you've done and the research at Crockett Shield time has been nothing short of amazing. Because before you got in, think that we had a really loose understanding of what the history of that particular competition was all about. Give our listeners a little bit of a background. Every 2 years, the umpires from Victoria and the umpires from South Australia get together and duke it out.
Yeah, basically.
Drop the black strides and put the white ones on.
Put the white ones back on.
And have a crack. Have a crack at the title.
Yep.
And that title being the Crockett Shield.
The Crockett Shield. And Kristen, I'm going to sing your praises here.
That'd be unusual, actually.
There has been a lot of stuff come to light, a lot of history come to light through the research that you've done. And it's been really good, and you've got some cohorts in Victoria that do a really good job as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But without, and also, Kristen's also got involved organising social events. Like when we have the Crockett Shield, we have a dinner on the Friday night, a dinner on the Saturday night, a family fun day on the Sunday. And I got my wife, who I'm speaking to on the phone, which is really weird on a radio show. But
it's probably one of the few ways that we actually have time to catch up.
Correct.
Just so busy with sport.
That's it. But like organising the social events, making sure that different people are sitting with different people that they don't know, so they get to know them, and then lifelong friendships flourish from that. And
it's awesome. It's really, really great. Yeah.
So,
and it's something that was started, like 90 odd years ago. So it just shows that things don't change in terms of humanity, and people just want to connect, and they want to become friends over common interests, and that's what it sort of developed into. But it took, a group of people wanting to, have a game of cricket every however many years, which is quite niche in itself.
Yeah.
But also, for that to continue through so many different eras, it just shows that consistency. We're all human, and we just want to catch up, have a great time, see what we've got in common, see what's different, and just connect and keep our mental health really positive.
Absolutely.
That's correct.
So I guess we'll have a shout out now to our friends over the border in Victoria.
In the midst of lockdown.
In the midst of another lockdown.
Yeah.
So, we're hoping...
Terrible state of affairs.
We're thinking of all you guys over there, and if you're not doing anything, you can listen into the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
look, everyone over in Victoria is doing such an amazing job of protecting everybody else in the country. That what they have been asked to do is incredible. And the fact that they do it really, for the most part, willingly, in good faith, with a smile on their face, they're just incredible, and we've got a lot to be grateful for, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Look, thank you so much for ringing in.
Thanks for calling in, Chris.
And adding,
that's all right.
adding
I'd
some
like to
perspective.
check up on my husband, see what he's doing.
Adding some perspective to our commentary.
He really is out doing a podcast.
Yeah, I am out doing a podcast. That is true. I am out doing it.
Thank you for verifying.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you for being involved with my sport. It does help immensely. Thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You'll pay. Don't worry.
Yeah. You've got dishes to do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that was a pleasant surprise.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, she's definitely adds to the flavour of cricket umpiring and does a great job.
Yeah, she does. She brings a lot of people together and organises things really well. Organises me as well, which is a hard case to crack.
We all need that extra help, don't
we? Yeah, we do. Yeah, without her, I probably wouldn't get out of the door on a Saturday morning with all my gear intact and ready to umpire. Yep. So, I have a lot to thank her for. She does a magnificent
As we
job.
do all our better halves.
Yes, we all do.
So shout out to my gorgeous wife, Anita, who's at home now. Oh, actually, she's taken my daughter out for a haircut. So she's organising all of that.
Oh, great stuff. So you can be here, mate, with me.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yep. We don't need a haircut.
Great to hear, man. Now, what do we come to next? We come to the poll question.
Yes. How do we go with the poll?
How do we go with
Tangles.
The poll? Did we get a lot of responses there, Tangles?
So the poll question centred around the Hussey report. So to give everyone a bit of a background, Michael Hussey came over and spent a bit of time in the Saka and did a lot of research, and basically the question was, how are we going to add to the strength of the Redbacks cricket and win the Sheffield Shield again? And he came up with a few suggestions, and one of those suggestions was to do the clubs, should Adelaide Premier clubs be made to merge? Now, we had a resounding result here.
Yeah.
60, well, nearly 70% of the people that responded said yes.
Wow. And 30% no. So should they be made to merge was the question. And yeah, that's a resounding response from our listeners, and thank you very much for the people who have engaged with us and voted on our poll, because it gives us a good cross section of where things sit in the outside world.
I think
basically
that really shows that the public want to see a change that will result in the state team becoming stronger.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot in that. So thanks for everyone who got involved. That's great.
Yeah.
It gives us a bit of a focus for what we think people want out there. Yeah.
So it was an interesting development over the off season with the Southern District and Adelaide cricket clubs failing to merge,
to come together. Yeah. It got looked upon as a bit of a takeover, which I don't think was correct. I don't think Adelaide were out to take over Southerns at any point. No. But I won't get too deep into that.
No.
But
well, we can't really dive too deeply in the position that we're in, considering that we're hosting a podcast where everybody gets an equal voice.
Yeah, correct.
We typical bloody umpires without an opinion.
Well, I do have opinions, but
yes.
Well,
I guess what my opinion is so just keep checking back. We'll keep this poll running, I think. We'll let it run, I think, because
for another week.
Yeah, we'll let it go for another week. So
because it's something that is very close to both of our hearts.
Absolutely.
Mick, is the state of cricket, and all of us in South Australia want to see the Redbacks.
Yeah.
Not be referred to as the deadbacks, as some people do, and
I agree.
that's terrible. I hate that saying, and it's probably come out of my mouth before.
Yep.
But look, the guys, we just want to see South Australian cricket prosper.
Yeah. Well, I've got a bit of a unique view in that I've come from New South Wales. I played all my junior cricket in New South Wales. I played district cricket in New South Wales. I've seen how strong New South Wales cricket is.
That competition,
in the regions as well.
Yeah, correct.
So I played country cricket in New South Wales at first grade level, and ended up playing district cricket here in Adelaide for Tea Tree Gully.
Yeah.
And was playing D grade here past my prime. And
we all hate to admit that we are, don't we?
That's right. But
no one ever likes saying that.
And umpiring in the last couple of years, I've seen that fourth grade, well, I guess you always think you're a little bit better than what you are, but I looked at some of the games I was umpiring and I thought, I could play this.
Yeah, correct.
Right? So something has to change.
Yeah. That's it.
And I've played in the turf competition and seen how there isn't the ability for district clubs to really link up with a turf club to bring players in and out of.
Yep.
Right. So if a player needs to go up to the state team, the D grade team would draw from the turf competition. But the competitions are odd. They start their first day.
Yeah, differently.
Right?
So it's not a 2-day game in ATCA when it's a 2-day game in Saka.
Yeah, the weekends
and
are
odd. And I think sometimes they do that a little on purpose.
Yeah.
To keep the competition separate.
Yeah.
And maybe they need I know what you're
'Cause-
trying to get at here,
Yeah,
and maybe they need to work together a little bit more.
I think that'd be a good start, and also, I think that also strengthens the turf competition.
Yeah, correct.
Right, and the Premier Cricket or the top league
Yeah.
in turf competition is very strong,
Yes.
and no doubt would beat a lot of the teams in B grade or
Yeah.
some teams in A grade
Yeah,
competition.
for sure. And I'm
Which-
sure they would love to flex their muscles and let
They
them know.
would.
Yeah.
Yep.
They used to have a game against
Well,
the winner of ATCA used to play the winner of SACA, and
yeah.
but it didn't. It's kind of died off a bit.
Yeah, so here's my little unique challenge.
to the mergers.
Twist to the merger. Right, there's a bye in district competition. So there's a spot, basically. Right? I reckon that the turf competition should fill 4 grades in the senior competition only as a representative game. Like the representative turf team, whatever you want to call it, just ATCA, plays whoever would have had the bye.
Wow.
Right?
For points?
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. So then
Okay.
that competition, like imagine if you're playing for Golden Grove, right?
Yeah.
And you've been selected to play for ATCA this weekend, so you still have to perform. If you don't make it, if you're going up for selection every week, right? And the runs that you score in that game count for your season,
Yep.
right? So you're playing
Wow.
legitimate cricket,
Right.
but then you're playing against district cricketers,
Yeah.
district competition.
So hopefully you get better and bring it back to your own competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then, you can beat your own chest when you knock off last year's premier, right? And that only strengthens the competition.
Yeah, correct.
Because, for argument's sake, Northern District's playing Golden Grove,
Yeah.
right? Now, Northern Districts aren't going to want to get beaten by a turf competition.
No, correct.
Or by the ATCA team.
Yeah,
right?
you've got a point here,
I
Mick.
think everything needs to be on the table.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It doesn't have to be a merger.
As long as cricket can get stronger,
Yeah.
that's what needs to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people trying to put this together at SACA to try
Yeah.
and come up with a
Oh,
way
absolutely.
to make cricket better.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people that work long hours and very hard to try and make that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And full respect to them.
Correct.
Righto. So I think we've covered that.
Yep. So will we slip into some Aussie rules?
Absolutely.
All right, mate. So who are we going to look at first? I think we'll have a look at the amateur league, Division 1. We had a little bit of a chat about Division 3, but I'm probably just going to look at the top tiers in some different leagues.
Yep.
To give us some perspective. And if anyone wants to have us talk about their league or their game that's happening on Saturday, get on Facebook and let us know, and we'd be happy to have a look at those games. Look, I had a bit of a look at the Amateur League Div 1 at the moment, and there was a bit of what went on last week. The matches that we looked at as the match of the round was Goodwood and Payneham, and Payneham smashed Goodwood. Payneham were fourth and Goodwood and they smashed them by 8 goals.
Walloping, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was pretty full on. And Tea Tree Gully got over Unley by 4 goals, and Tea Tree Gully were above them, so that was expected. PAC only beat Brighton by 4 points. PAC were top and Brighton were 6th.
So that would have been a cracking game.
Yeah, and that was the old Brighton coach, remember?
Yes.
Brett Backwell. No, the old PAC coach
Yeah.
is now coaching Brighton.
So he's got his boys up.
Yeah, he's got them up, and they've nearly got over the line. I'm sure the
credit.
PAC would have been a bit nervous
I would think so.
on that one,
One kick.
especially after they lost the week before by 1
Yeah.
kick as well.
Yeah.
So they just got over the line, so they held on to top spot, and Payneham, with that big win over Goodwood, have pushed up to second, and Goody have dropped down to third. Ross Trevor have climbed 1 spot to fourth, and St. Peter's have slipped from 3rd to 5th because they lost their game against Ross Trevor by 18 points.
Right.
So this week we've got Goodwood are playing Brighton. So 3rd versus 6th, and Brighton took it up to the top side last week. So that'll be a cracker of a game,
And
I
they'll
reckon.
be up for it too.
Yeah. And Goody won't want to drop another one because they're in trouble. They could go out of the 5 with a loss to Brighton. Only play Ross Trevor. Ross Trevor should win that one. PAC play Port Districts. PAC should get over the line, but going on the last couple of weeks, they Port might push them again. And Tea Tree Gully play Payneham. Payneham should win, but Tea Tree Gully have been playing above their rank.
Yep.
And they've won the last couple, so
They're on the move, and momentum is important.
Yeah, correct.
Weekend sport.
And Uni and St. Peter's. St. Peter's should get over the line against Uni, not to belittle Uni, but yeah, that's what should happen in Amateur League. So we move on to, obviously, my love, which is Hills Footy. They have interleague matches going on this weekend.
What's about? Well, tell us all about the interleague.
Well, basically, you get your teams picked from all clubs, your best team, considering who's available, of course, because not all players will make themselves available for interleague games, as we know, and we won't get involved in the politics there.
Well, you know, I guess that's the other thing with weekend sport too. Sometimes you're not available.
Yeah.
You've got to miss, like somebody gets married.
Yeah, that's right.
Dare they?
Yeah, correct.
That should be a poll question later on. I think.
Yeah,
Should you get
that is a
married
good one.
in the cricket season or the football season.
Or in between, like we tried to.
Nice.
We got married on the long weekend in October, in between seasons.
Yep.
And of course, we got married on a Sunday as well, just to make sure. And guess what was on? Bathurst. So everyone was in the front bar watching Bathurst on the TV. Good on them.
There's no winning.
No winning at all. So River Murray actually host the Hills on Saturday in all grades, Div 1, country, under 18s and under 16s, and it's at Karoonda Oval.
Right.
So if you're up that way, you want to see some good interleague footy, all day at Karoonda, under 16s first, then under 18s, then the country division, and then Div 1 playoff at Karoonda. So that should be a big day out there for Hills and River Murray. And so what happened in the country league in HFL last week? Ironbank accounted for Torrens Valley pretty easily, 16 goals. Chris Laddams still putting the boots on for Ironbank, kicked 7. So shout out to Ladsy there.
And how many seasons has he run around for?
Oh, mate, he's early 40s, I reckon. Sorry, lads, to give that away. but, mate, he is still kicking goals. He kicked 7 on the weekend. So
when he comes back into the showers, he's like, I'm an old boy, and I've touched his all up. Thanks for coming. 7 goals. Come on,
yeah,
lads,
he would have loved it.
Nice.
And there was a host of other goal kickers that kicked 2 and 1, and they won by 16. So
that was a shellocking.
Yeah, they didn't take anything off the foot. Didn't take the foot off the pedal against Torrens Valley. Mackie.
Any grudges there? Like,
Yeah.
when there's a blowout like that, it can happen. Like something might have gone on behind the scenes.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard anything through the traps. So now a big game last week. Mackie beat Kersbrook for the first time in first grade. So in A grade. So
that would have been a big celebration.
yeah, they won by 7 points. Their first win over Kersbrook. I'm sure the Kersbrook lads weren't happy about that. They would have liked to keep that record intact, but no,
Really?
they hadn't. And Meadows got over Burwood by 6 goals. Gummies got over Kangarilla. Kangarilla top of the table. Gumaraka beat them by 6 goals last week. The Hanna brothers had a day out, 4 goals each.
Nice.
That was a really big result last week. So
how does that affect the table when the
it stayed pretty much the same.
Yep.
Ironbank moved up above Birdwood, seeing Birdwood lost to Meadows, and Ironbank had that big win over Torrens Valley. So that was the only positions that changed there. And Gummies just pushing because Kersbrook and Kangarilla were on 6 wins, 1 loss. So,
Right.
so now the Kangarilla boys and Kersbrook both have 6 and 2, and Gummies have 5 and 3. So yeah,
well,
there's-
it made things a bit more squishy at the top.
it
there.
has, and Meadows. So they all held their spots except for Ironbank slipping into 5th above Birdwood, which is, well, I'm a bit biased, but that's probably where they need to be or higher.
Right. We're allowed to be biased.
Yeah. So obviously they don't have a game this week, so we won't touch on those. So that's why I'm going over the games last week. Now I touted that the Blackwood in Division 1, I touted that the Blackwood Bridgie game was the match of the round. Blackwood absolutely smashed Bridgie by 51 points.
Jeez.
So great win there for Blackwood, and I'm sure the Bridgie boys will be hurting and be wanting to get back after interleague to the next game. I haven't had a look at that. We'll have a look at those next week. Now, Mount Lofty played Onkers. Onkers were 3rd. Mount Lofty were 9th. Mount Lofty have got up by 3 points in a big game for the club. It was Brad Birch's 300th game for the club. So
I tell you, those milestone games lift the whole club, don't they?
Yeah, and especially like 300th.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
he is a pillar of the club, and so well done for the Lofty boys for getting over Onkers. They did a great job.
Well done on 300 games. That's amazing.
Yeah, well done, Brad. Shout out to Brad Birch. Well done. And we had Harndorf got over Uradler, which we expected to happen.
Yep.
By 3 goals. And
Still another close game there.
Yeah, and Lobe got over Nam by 13 points as well. So well done to the boys at Lobe, they're second. So, and Chunga got over Mount Barker by 7 goals. And their new recruit, Tristan Kakuro, kicking 6. So the Chunga boys would have been happy with Tristan there.
Yeah.
He's a new boy to the club this year, so really showing his wares. Mount Lofty obviously shot up into 8th, and Blackwood shot up into 3rd. So
there you go.
Boys doing well there.
Good set of results there.
Yeah. And the other table that we're looking at is the River Murray Football League.
This is where it's all happening too.
Yeah, it is. Jervois got over Manham by 3 goals, and shout out to my nephew Tate Silverlock, got best on.
Nice
well done, mate. And the Imperials, the Murray Bridge Imperials, demolished Malingi by 25 goals. It was a massive day, and Johnny Boris kicking 8. So well done,
I would
Johnny.
Imagine that would have been a massive night too.
Yeah. I think it was, yes. And then Taylor Ben beat Maipo by 7 goals, and the difference there being Connor Smelt kicking 7. Nice. And a shout out to a bloke who used to play at Ironbank, Bones, Hamish Irwin, best on for Taylor Bend, his new club.
Bones.
Yeah.
The new club.
Yeah, he's gone up there, the Hammer. And yeah, best on, so well done to Hamish.
Nice one, Hamish.
Yeah. So that rounds up our footy look at.
Very good, and we're loving the River Murray, and the show's not just about Adelaide people.
Yeah, correct.
Let's go.
And
everywhere.
that day at Karoonda this week, the Interleague, they'll put it on. And it'll be a big day out there, so get out there and support the local league out there, and hopefully the Hills boys can touch them up there.
Fingers crossed. And also, it's not just about football and Aussie Rules people too. So, let's bring in some baseball. Let's bring in some netball. We're going to hopefully have a netball guest on soon.
Yeah, in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Yep. So it's just a matter of how we can arrange our guests. And, hopefully we can bring in some interstate competitions too.
That's it.
Some contacts over in New South Wales.
Love to hear from them, Mick. Love to hear from them.
So we'll go through their ladders, who's doing what, where. because community doesn't start and end here in
No, correct.
little old Adelaide.
And of course, we've also got, with cricket, we've got a big competition going up in the top end at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, so we might need to have a look at that next week. I think so too. See how that's shaping up, because there's a lot of our budding young cricketers have gone up there to have a hit during the off season. I mean, obviously the top tier players go over and play in the county stuff over in England, but
and that's all happening at the moment. And
yeah, Michael Ness is making a meal of it from what I can see.
Yeah, he's doing great.
His exploits. I'm sure he's moving around having people in all sorts over there.
Lots of fun. But I tell you what's happening over in that part of the world as well. I keep an eye on some weird and wonderful things, as you know, and
always a bit out there, Mick.
No, a little bit out there. I went down the internet rabbit hole one particular night, as you do. You follow things, and you end up in some amazing stories.
You can, yeah.
And I read this little article about the most northern cricket ground in the world, right? And I'm like, where would that be? And it was in Iceland. Right?
Iceland?
Yeah. And I started to pay some interest to the Iceland cricket team and the National League and what they're doing. And that is a little bit of bait, because I'm going to follow through and have a little bit of a story, and we're going to see if we can get some international listeners and bring some Iceland fans on board.
Nice, mate. Nice.
So, yeah, we'll see how we go there. So, at the moment, our listeners are pretty local, I would say.
Yeah.
But let's see if we can expand and share the love.
That's
what
great.
it's all about, isn't it?
That's really good, yeah.
But, yeah, I love the Iceland story. You know, there's the typical story where some immigrants move to a different country and move into a new culture, and
they want to play their sport.
They've played their sport. They've set it all up. They've built a cricket ground, and they had the Iceland Prime Minister out.
Turf wicket?
I think it was concrete.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be pretty hard to get a turf wicket going there. Yeah.
Well, it'd be pretty hard.
Yeah.
It'd be frozen.
It'd be icy. You wouldn't get much tan.
No, but they had the Iceland Prime Minister come out, and it was a huge event. So,
sounds fun.
Yeah,
we'll explore that more, mate.
We will.
Yeah.
We'll explore that more next week.
That's really good.
But yeah, so it's always remiss of me not to mention the different podcast, platforms that we're on. So you can always find us on Spotify, Anchor, Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Google Podcasts, the Radio Public, and yeah, of course, Spotify, and also listening to us live on Mixer. And obviously we're thanking Tangles.
Yep, thanks
for
Tangles.
His great work behind the scenes with all the chords and the button pushing. Thank you, Thommo.
I think we've had a few hiccups tonight, but yeah, that's the beauty of going live, isn't it?
It is.
You got to roll with those punches, eh?
Well, that's also local sport too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
You get us bones and all.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks to my darling wife Kristen for ringing through and
Chris.
having a chat to us about how to keep the better half happy. And I'm sure we haven't painted a great picture of how to exactly keep your wife happy, because it's a personal thing.
Yep.
Or
your husband, or your boyfriend.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you keep that other one happy so you can go out and do your thing on a weekend?
Well, the fact that we get to do it means we must be doing something right.
Yeah, maybe we are.
Absolutely.
Maybe we are.
So yes. And thank you, Thommo, for your great work, my friend.
No problems at all. It's good fun doing this, and hopefully the listeners out there are getting some enjoyment. And if I've made some mistakes with some of my footy predictions, be sure to get on our website and let me know about it.
Absolutely. Let us know.
As umpires, we love copping it.
We got thick skin. We can handle it, and there's nothing that we haven't heard.
That's correct.
So, and I think we're going to try our darndest not to dish it back. We take it like men.
That's right, and not be too defensive about our decisions.
We're fine.
Yeah, that's it.
We move on with life. And speaking about moving on, I think that's about it for the show tonight.
I think it is, mate.
Thank you, everybody, for listening in. If you love the show, tell your friends, tell your neighbours, tell your cats, tell your dogs.
We don't mind who listens to
That's
our show.
right. And thank you to everyone that's listened, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week on Selection Night.
Absolutely.